Hi, welcome to Playful Learners Preschool. I'm Tasia Araujo-Roper and I'm the owner of Playful Learners, and I've started this back in 2018. My story begins because I was a pre-K teacher who had actually moved to Charlottesville from Germany, and as I hopped around different centers, I realized that I didn't actually appreciate the quality level that a lot of them had. And as I was going through that experience, I had my own children, which made it even more crucial for me to find quality care places. I had a child with special needs, and I wasn't able to find a center that could accommodate his needs. And so I needed to start my own. And to do that, I started as an in-home in 2018. We started with 4 children and then expanded to 12. But unfortunately, less than a year into that, I had to move. The place is up for sale, and so I ended up being able to move into this center here in Charlottesville in 2019. After those 12 kids moved over, we continued to grow. What I found really important when developing our center was that we needed to make sure we maintained a connection to nature, that we were a positive, inclusive, and welcoming environment. We met children exactly where they were at and made sure they were challenged academically, social, emotionally, etc. And most importantly, that they got connected to play throughout their day and learned hands-on so that they could grow the best that they could. All of those things came together to what is now Playful Learners Preschool. And thankfully, we have had a lot of people who have been really supportive of our mission and really aligned with those qualities. We've been lucky enough to be nominated as Best Daycare and the Best of Seville and in the Charlottesville Family Favorite Awards for multiple years due to that mission. When a family comes to me, after asking about their family needs, I want to show them our amazing building. And the first thing I show them is our security. Every single parent has their own individual codes that we can really monitor who has access to our building and can pick up children. After that, I show them our bulletin board, which has our menu posted every day, and we have a few guidelines in regards to how we develop our menu. We make sure that our food does not have preservatives, high fructose corn syrup, or dyes. We try to stick to things that are as natural as possible and many times organic when we can. We make sure that there's a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables and things are home cooked as much as possible, as well as having some kid favorites like fish sticks and etc. But we also want to expand their palates long term, so we introduce some international foods so that they can start to get understanding of different flavors while they're young and don't grow up to be incredibly picky eaters when they're older. And then after showing the menu, I like to go to the infant rooms. In our infant pod, one of the things that we find really works for us is that we separate our infants by their mobility. Our younger classroom are children who are mostly non-mobile. They need a lot of visual stimulation, individual schedules in regards to feeding and sleeping, and have a separate crib area from their play area. They also have full-size fridge and freezers that we can store all the bottles ready-made, whether they're breastfed or formula, and warm that up and provide it to the child whenever is needed. In those classrooms, the teachers work really hard to support breastfeeding moms by coordinating with them through our app, ProCare Connect, and messaging them whenever the child may be up and awake or ready to eat to see if they're available and would like to come breastfeed as well. In the older infant classroom, there is also a full-size fridge and freezer so they can offer the same things, but those children are now beginning to eat independently at the table, and we like to introduce baby-led weaning when it comes to their food. Baby-led weaning basically is a concept that the food is cut and prepared in ways that is safe for infants to ingest. For example, apple slices will be roasted for 15 minutes and sliced extremely thin so that they can be served those apples safely and can hold them on their own independently and just sort of gnaw it down. Another great component to our mobile infant room is that since the children are relatively synced on the same schedule, we have a bigger play space, and many of them are sleeping on cots at that point and are sleep trained on cots all the way into pre-K for when they graduate and are no longer taking naps at all. In our infant classrooms, we also have strollers so that children get daily time outside and have time to explore our gross motor room and more, so they're not spending all day in their classroom. And sometimes when they can't go outside, we bring nature in with sensory bins and more. We really work on making sure that there are really engaging activities for these infants, and it's not just about their daily care, so that they're really getting challenged and stimulated as often as possible. In addition, in our infant rooms, we like to introduce baby sign language. It's something that we teach with things that are as important as meals, more, please, all done, etc. And then as they get into the pre-toddler classrooms and toddler rooms, they can use that in conjunction with verbalizing what their needs are, so that they can make sure to communicate not only with their teachers, but with their peers, what their needs are. And that's really important to growing an independent and capable toddler. In our toddler classrooms, we have them separated by 2 age as well. Our pre-toddler classroom, which is traditionally about 16 months to 23 months, and then our toddler classroom, which is our 2-year-olds. The difference in between the rooms really have to do with where they are in regards to play. Pre-toddlers are kind of known as the Tasmanian devils of toddlerhood. It means they're really into discovering and throwing and seeing how things work. Toddlers have learned to begin to pick up what the teachers have modeled to them and can work with Play-Doh with tools and manipulate it into things instead of eating it or throwing it as a pre-toddler would. A toddler also may be introduced to potty training instead of staying in diapers, and so our toddler room does have toilets low to the ground specifically designed for the toddlers to be able to start successfully going potty. In the toddler classrooms, we really work on independence as a big part of their care. So they'll clear themselves from the table, help set the tables. They also use visual cards to help them remember how to utilize mindfulness tools. Self-regulation is really an important thing to teach with those high emotions that toddlers have. We don't expect them to master it perfectly because those toddler emotions are very strong and their brain hasn't quite developed all of those impulse controls yet. But the more repetition they have during this age, the more success they have at mastering it as they get older. We have our preschool classes divided into 2 different classrooms, an early preschool and our preschool ages, who are about 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. Children are placed in the preschool classrooms based off their social, emotional regulation, cognitive abilities, independence, and more. We usually divide them into a more advanced crew and then a crew that still needs a little bit more work in regards to some of those skills. In the preschool classrooms, we like to challenge those children individually, as well as use those growing independent skills, as well as care for classroom pets like guinea pigs, snails, and fish. Mindfulness is also really important in these classrooms, so meditative techniques, social-emotional problem-solving skills, and more are introduced in these rooms. The idea is that to really be a good student, they need to work cooperatively with their peers and learn how to navigate those problems that come in when having day-to-day play and work. Our preschool classrooms are also really inspired by Reggio Emilia and Montessori practices. Although we don't believe wholeheartedly in any one, we want to take what's best from each one and bring a really nature-inspired classroom with a lot of wooden elements, challenging materials, and soft color palettes that aren't overwhelming to children's brains and eyes. The difference between our preschool and our pre-K classroom is that all of our classrooms up until pre-K are really focused on play. Once you hit into our pre-K classroom, that's where we start to focus on the academic skills so that they're ready for kindergarten when they go there. So we're introducing letters, we're talking about numbers, and we're just making sure that they have all the precursor skills to make them as successful as kindergarten as possible. And as I said, each child is met exactly where they're at. For some children, they may graduate knowing sight words, but for others, it may be as simple as knowing and recognizing the letters in their name. In our pre-K class, our children are at our highest independence level, and so they help take care of our class, including their classroom pets and setting the table, cleaning and organizing, and more. They really work in conjunction with their teachers to care for their classroom as a community, and we follow those child interests when setting up our classroom so that they can really engage and learn the most whatever topic we're presenting to them by making sure it's something they're really interested in. Each of our classrooms go outside every single day, rain or shine, But unfortunately, there are instances where we cannot go outside, such as when it's 91 degrees and above, 13 degrees and below, or there's lightning. And so we have two common share spaces that we take our classrooms to when there isn't the opportunity to go outside. That's our gross motor room, where they can really engage in indoor play that still gets their wiggles out for the day and helps them focus when they're in their classroom. In the gross motor room, we do everything from dance parties, yoga, building forts, or just having some fun free play. And then our other shared common space is our art room. This is a great space for getting really hands-on with a lot of messy art projects, which we love, like clay and collages, and really getting paint everywhere is something that this space is designed for, so that their classrooms can still have those opportunities to get into really complex or long-term projects without making messes in their rooms. We also have a library in our art room where teachers can come in and just to get a change of scenery, to read books and have some quiet reading time. Our outdoor space is divided into 3 sections. Our infant and toddler playground, which is really more focused on sensory experiences as well as imaginative play. Our preschool playground, which is really designed for a lot of that running and gross motor movement that their bodies need. And in addition to that, they have mud kitchen and we compost in our garden. Our compost is really popular with our preschool and pre-K friends who are in charge of helping me rotate that. And they love our worms to death, so much so that you can catch them kissing them goodnight before they tuck them back in their beds. Our school-age playground also has a small compost bin and also has a climbing structure, but our older classes like to sometimes go in the field out behind our playground so that they can go on a little nature hike, which has a little stream, and they've been able to find turtles or salamanders, or just build something with some sticks, or find materials for a collage back in their classroom later that day. Our final 2 classrooms are our school-age classrooms. Our school-age program is divided into 2 rooms, which is our 5 and 6-year-olds and our 7 to 10-year-olds. They are split based off their social-emotional levels and their advancements in academics. Our school-age program has some really exciting field trips during the summer. We like to go hiking in the Shenandoah National Park or Sugar Hollow Reservoir, or get experiences like going to space museums and local zoos and farms, as well as cooking experiences, photography, and more. During our summer, our children have a blast in our program, and they really benefit from the small class sizes that our program offers, where there's only 18 and 20 children in their rooms with 2 or 3 caregivers. In addition to all those wonderful things in our programs, our parents have a few other benefits that they really appreciate. We have a resource library where they can check out books about anything going on in parenting or early childhood. We also have an app for communication with our families where they can message directly with their teacher during the day and see updates in real time about their children's diaper changes, feeding, nap, and activities that they're doing. In addition, we also have a parent-teacher advisory board where our parents are a part of our community and guiding program, and as well as planning fun family events for everybody to participate in. I really hope that you can come and check out Playful Learners for yourself and be a part of our community. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video and check out our spaces. We really look forward to hearing from you, and you can reach us at info@playfullearnerspreschool.com. We hope that you can be a part of our community, and we hope to hear from you soon.